গৌরাঙ্গ বলিতে হবে পুলক শরীর হরি হরি বলিতে নয়নে বাবে নীরা
গৌরাঙ্গ বলিতে হবে পুলক শরীর হরি হরি বলিতে নয়নে হবে নীরা
গৌরাঙ্গ বলিতে হবে পুলক শরীর হরি হরি বলিতে নয়নে ভাবে নীরা
গৌরাঙ্গ বলিতে হবে পুলক শরীর হরি হরি বলিতে নয়নে হবে নীরা
আর কবে নিতাই জানে করুণা হইবে সংসার বাসনা মোরা কবে তো চাহবে
আর কবে নিতাই চাঁদে করুণা হইবে সংসার বাসনা মোরা কবে তুচ্ছ হবে
আর কবে নিতাই চাঁদে করুণা হইবে সংসার বাসনা মোরা কবে তুচ্ছ হবে
আর কবে নিতাই চাঁদে করুণা হইবে সংসার বাসনা মোরা কবে তুচ্ছ হবে
বিষয় ছাড়িয়া কবে শুদ্ধ হবে মানা কবে হাম হেরাব শ্রী বৃন্দাবন
বিষয়া ছাড়িয়া কবে শুদ্ধ হবে মন কবে হাম হেরাব শ্রী বৃন্দাবন
বিষয় ছাড়িয়া কবে শুদ্ধ হবে মানা কবে হাম হেরাব শ্রী বৃন্দাবন
বিষয়া ছাড়িয়া কবে শুদ্ধ হবে মন কবে আমেরাব শ্রী বৃন্দাবন
রূপ রঘুনাথ পদে হইবে আকুতি प्रीति
रूप रघुनाथ पदे होइबे आकुति कबे हम बुझाबो से जुगल प्रीति
रूप रघुनाथ पदे होइबे आकुति कबे हम बुझाबो से जुगल प्रीति
रूप रघुनाथ पदे होइबे आकुति कबे हम बुझाबो से जुगल प्रीति
रूप रघुनाथ पदे रहु मोर आशा प्रार्थना करो सदा नरोत्तम दासा
रूप रघुनाथ पदे रहु मोर आशा प्रार्थना करो ये सदा नरोत्तम दासा
रूप रघुनाथ पदे रहु मोर आशा प्रार्थना करो सदा नरोत्तम दासा
रघुनाथ पदे रहु मोर आशा प्रार्थना करो ये सदा नरोत्तम दासा
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda पावन हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय चैतन्य चरितामृत की जय श्री कृष्णदास कविराज गोस्वामी की जय ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमा ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादि पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Welcome all of you for the 20th chapter of Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila. We were discussing the section Sadhana and Sadhya, the way out of entanglement. Lord Chaitanya is sharing with Sanatana Goswami the knowledge about sadhana and sadhya. So, in that 120th verse, I will repeat for you. We read about sadhu and shastra. Sadhu shastra kripaya yadi krishnan mukhaya say jiva nistare maya tahare chadaya. If the jiva becomes Krishna conscious by the mercy of saintly persons who voluntarily preach scriptural injunctions, he is liberated from the clutches of Maya, who gives him up. That means when you become Krishna conscious, then Maya's clutches become weak. And one becomes safe in Krishna's shelter. Mama Maya Aduratya, Krishna says, Mami evi ye prapadyante, Maya metam tarantite. And then one more verse we read last time, 122. Maya mugda jivera nahi swata Krishna jnana jivera kripaya kaila Krishna Veda Puran. A conditioned soul cannot revive his Krishna consciousness on his own, but out of costless mercy, Lord Krishna compiled the Vedic literatures and it supplements the Puranas, he says. Now, then 23rd verse, it talks about how Krishna educates us. He educates us through Shastra, Guru and Paramatma in three ways. Shastra, Guru, Atma Rupe, Apnare Janana, Krishna Mora, Prabhu Trata, Jivera Hayajnana. That's a verse. Now we are proceeding with 124th verse. A very important section is coming up today. Sambandha, Abhidheya and Prayojan. Sambandha. So let us just read the verse. Veda Shastra kahe Sambandha, Abhidheya, Prayojana.
वेद शास्त्र कहे संबंध अभिधेय प्रयोजन
Krishna Prapya Sambandha Bhakti Praptyera Sadhana.
कृष्ण प्राप्य संबंध भक्ति प्राप्त्येर साधन.
Yeah, translate.
The Vedic literatures give information about the living entity's eternal relationship with Krishna, which is called Sambandha. The living entity's understanding of this relationship and his acting accordingly is called Abhideya. Returning home back to Godhead is the ultimate goal of life and is called Prayojan.
So Lord Chaitanya talks about it very elaborately. These three words we should remember: Sambandha, Abhideya, Prayojan. In every field, this can be applied. Like in business field, two partners X and Y come together, they make Sambandha. And Abhideya is when they invest their money and do the business. And Prayojana is after some years they earn some profits. Similarly, a boy writes some competitive exam like IIT, JEE and cracks the exam and gets into IIT. So a new Sambandha is established. Earlier his Sambandha was with a school. Now his Sambandha is with IIT, college. Then by that Sambandha, then what is Abhideya? He studies in the college 4 years. And what is Prayojana? He earns a degree. And he gets a job. So in this way, Sambandha, Abhideya, Prayojan can be applied even in such fields also. A man and woman at the time of marriage make a Sambandha. And what is Abhideya? They purchase a bungalow. When the man does job, he brings money, he maintains the wife. And then they put up the family together. In the Prayojana, or the children they beget and raise the family, who then take care of the, running of the home and everything. So in this way you will find, wherever in this world you find living entities connect with each other, there is Sambandha, Abhideya, Prayojan. Whereas what is spoken in here, in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, is especially Sambandha with the Supreme Lord, Krishna. So it's eternal relationship with Krishna. The point is mentioned here. Living entities, it gives information about the living entities. See, read that.
The Vedic literatures give information about the living entity's eternal relationship with Krishna.
Yeah. And then what is Abhideya?
Abhideya is acting accordingly is called Abhideya.
Yeah. And what is Prayojana?
It's the ultimate goal of life.
Yeah, that's called Prayojana. So, ultimate goal of life is to go back to Godhead and engage in Seva. So, in this way, this is called Sambandha, Abhideya, Prayojana in relation to the Supreme Lord, Jiva and Supreme Lord. Abhideya Nama Bhakti Prema Prayojana.
Abhideya Nama Bhakti Prema Prayojana.
Purushartha Shiromani Prema Mahadhana.
Purushartha Shiromani Prema Mahadhana. Devotional service or sense activity for the satisfaction of the Lord is called Abhideya because it can develop one's original love of Godhead, which is the goal of life. This goal is the living entity's topmost interest and greatest wealth. Thus, one attains the platform of transcendental loving service unto the Lord.
Yeah. See, here first thing he mentions here is using our senses for the satisfaction of the Lord. It's called Rishikena, Rishikesh Sevanam. Like for example, Navavida Bhakti, if you see, there we are engaging all the 5 Panchamahabhutas, earth, water, fire, air, ether. All we are offering. Like ghee lamp is what? Fire. Yeah. Isn't it? And the chamara? Air. You're offering. And the shank we are offering water. You can see that. And also blowing the shank, that is ether sound you're offering. And also you're offering the flower, the fragrance of the flower. Correct, no? So you will see that in this way, not only you are offering everything, those 5 wicks of the lamp represents our 5 Shabda Sparsha Rasa Rupa Gandha. We are dipping it in ghee, which represents false ego. When our senses are always dipped in false ego, ahankar. Our eyes, our ears, our nose, our tongue and skin actually act as per our mithya ahankar. So if you dip it in ghee and then you burn the ghee, that means you are burning away the false ego in service of the Lord. And the two, you are actually using the ghee lamp, rotating it to show the brilliance of the Lord to the world, which means we engage our senses and false ego in engaging in Lord's Seva, by which they all get purified. That's the meaning of that. Correct, no? That's a point first it is said. And it's called Abhideya because it can develop one's original love of God in it, which is the goal of life. And then he's saying that it's actually, they see one more word is used. That is read this, yeah.
This goal is the living entity's topmost interest and greatest wealth.
Yeah, love of God. Yeah. Because why it is the greatest? Because that awards read this one.
Thus one attains the platform of transcendental loving service unto the Lord.
If you have love for God, then there's loving service. If you have no love for God, you are only in a neutral relationship, Aham Brahmasmi, then you go to Brahma Jyoti. You have no seva opportunity. When there is love, then there is seva opportunity. Therefore, the love is the greatest wealth, like that is saying. Read that.
The conditioned soul is bewildered by the external material energy which fully engages him in sense gratification in various ways. Due to engagement in material activities, one's original Krishna consciousness is covered. However, as the Supreme Father of all living entities, Krishna wants his sons to return home back to Godhead. Therefore, he personally comes to deliver Vedic literatures like the Bhagavad Gita. He engages his confidential servants who serve as spiritual masters and enlighten the conditioned soul living entities. Being present in everyone's heart, the Lord gives the living entities the conscience whereby they can accept the Vedas and the spiritual master. In this way, the living entity can understand his constitutional position and his relationship with the Supreme Lord, as personally enunciated by the Lord himself in the Bhagavad Gita 15.15, Vedescha sarvair ahameva vedyah. Through the study of Vedanta, one may become fully aware of his relationship with the Supreme Lord and act accordingly.
See, the word conscience is given. Being present in everyone's heart, Lord gives the living entity conscience. So we say, what is conscience? When you do wrong thing, you get a guilty feeling. I am doing something wrong. Similarly, when you have inquisitiveness, the conscience directs you to go to some devotee or purchase some spiritual book or read some spiritual book and make inquiries. Or the conscience makes you think that I have to get rid of the anarthas and I want to purify my heart. There is an impetus coming from inside. It's called conscience. And that is supplied by the super soul, he's saying. In this way,
one may ultimately attain the platform of loving service to the Lord. It is in the living entity's best interest to understand the Supreme Lord. Unfortunately, the living entities have forgotten that this is in their best interest, and therefore Srimad Bhagavatam says, Nate viduh swartha gatim hi Vishnum. Bhagavatam 7.5.31. Everyone wants to achieve life's ultimate goal, but due to being absorbed in the material energy, we waste our time with sense gratification. Through the study of Vedic literatures, of which the essence is the Bhagavad Gita, one comes to Krishna consciousness. Thus one engages in devotional service called Abhideya.
See, everyone wants to achieve ultimate goal, Prabhupada says. But because we are absorbed in material energy, we waste our time for sense gratification, he says. For example, even the karmis talk about goal setting. Correct, now? That means they also have goal. Like somebody has a goal to become an engineer or a doctor or a chartered accountant. Somebody has a goal to become the best sportsman. Somebody has a great ambition to achieve success in their career as a cinema actor or actress. or somebody has a goal of becoming a great speaker and one day become a TED Talk speaker, attracting millions of people, correct? No? Or somebody has a great ambition or a goal to start some computer company in the West and make millions of dollars, correct? No? So you will find everybody has a goal, but all these goals are stunted. All these goals are within the purview of the material energy, as he says. And why they go for these goals? Because the spiritual goal is forgotten, he's saying. That means if one doesn't have spiritual goal, then one develops ambition in material goals. Therefore, he is saying we waste our time with sense gratification. He's saying because we are absorbed in material energy. Yeah, go ahead.
When the living entity actually develops love of Godhead, he has reached the ultimate goal, prayojan. In other words, one who becomes fully Krishna conscious has attained the perfection of life.
So, even if you become religious, some schools have only up to 5th standard. Some schools have up to 10th standard. Up beyond that, you don't have any more standards. Some schools have 12th standard, intermediate college they call it. And some have up to undergrad or postgrad. But very few schools or colleges will have a doctorate, isn't it? So Krishna consciousness is like a doctorate education which can take you, not only take you to God, there are many religions which connect you to God out of fear or out of some greed or desire. Or some more noble religions connect you to God out of gratitude. Connecting with God out of gratitude or duty. But Bhagavatam actually takes us to the highest platform of love of God. So, as prayojana. Therefore, there's nothing beyond it. Prabhupada wrote one time in one sentence. He read, love is the last word in transcendence. Like that he wrote. Love is the last word in transcendence. There is no word beyond the word of love. So, therefore, that's the highest attainment in religion. You can't achieve anything. One thing you can achieve beyond love is more deeper love, thicker love. Like we say, prema, sneha, pranaya, mana, and then raga, anuraga, bhava, mahabhava. So there are different depths of the same love, different intensities of the same love. Yeah. Krishna Madhurya Sevananda Praptira Karana.
Krishna Madhurya Sevananda Praptira Karana.
Krishna Sevi Kare Ara Krishna Rasa Aswadana.
Krishna Seva Kare Ara Krishna Rasa Aswadana. When one attains the transcendental bliss of an intimate relationship with Krishna, he renders service to him and tastes the mellows of Krishna consciousness.
Ihate drishtanta yaiche daridrera ghare.
Ihate drishtanta yaiche daridrera ghare.
Sarvajna asi dukha dekhi puchaye tahare.
Sarvajna asi dukha dekhi puchaye tahare.
Mahaprabhu is going to tell a story now. Interesting story of hidden treasure. Let us hear what is the story here. Yeah.
The following parable may be given. Once, a learned astrologer came to the house of a poor man and, seeing his distressed condition, questioned him. Sometimes we go to an astrologer or palmist when we are in a distressed condition or when we want to know the future. The living entity in conditioned life is always distressed by the threefold miseries of material existence. Under the circumstances, he is inquisitive about his position.
Yeah. See, when you go in the train, sometimes people catch you. They say, Swamiji, can you see palmistry? And tell me. So recently our devotees went for book distribution. So one fellow caught the devotees and said, please see my hand. Now, many devotees said, we don't know. He said, no, please try. Please see my hand, because people are very curious. So one of the devotees said, please bring your hand. He saw his hand and said, you have some Purva Janma account, some problem in your Purva Janma account, due to which there are some sufferings in your life. So what if you chant 28 times Hare Krishna Mahamantra, every day, regularly, without stopping? All these Purva Janma accounts will be cleared up by Lord Krishna. So that fellow became very thankful. Along with it, you will study one page of Bhagavad Gita every day. So please take the Bhagavad Gita. And that fellow took Bhagavad Gita and agreed to chant 28 numbers of Mahamantras. Correct, no? So anyway, what this devotee said is not wrong. Correct, no? Everybody is carrying Purva Janma account. And they would just chant Mahamantra and study Gita. So, but otherwise, people are very eager to know about their, good fortune. Whether I have any good luck in my life. Correct, no? People want to know. They are inquisitive. Go ahead. Or for instance?
For instance, Sanatan Goswami approached the Supreme Personality of Godhead Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to ask him why he was in a distressed condition. This is the position of all conditioned souls. We are always in a distressed condition, and an intelligent man naturally becomes inquisitive. This position is called Brahma Jigyasa, Athato Brahma Jigyasa, Vedanta Sutra 1.1.1. Brahma here refers to the Vedic literature. One should consult the Vedic literature to know why the conditioned soul is always in a distressed condition. The Vedic literatures are meant to free the conditioned soul from the miserable conditions of material existence. In this chapter, the story of the astrologer Sarvagya and the poor man is very instructive.
तुम्हें कहने दुखी तुम्हार आचे पितृ धन
तुमी केने दुखी तुम्हारा छे पितृ धन
तुम्हारे ना कहिल अन्यत्र चाडिल जीवन
तुम्हारे ना कहिल अन्यत्र छाडिल जीवन. The astrologer asked, "Why are you unhappy? Your father was very wealthy, but he did not disclose his wealth to you because he died elsewhere."
Yeah. So the story of the astrologer revealing the truth about a man who was very unhappy because he lost all his wealth. He was practically, poverty stricken. But the astrologer is giving him a good news of good luck. What the good luck? Don't worry. Your grandfathers or your father, they have kept a great hidden treasure for you. So who will not want to find out the treasure? Just imagine if your father or grandfather kept some, 10,000 gold coins in a box and they have hidden it somewhere. And that place is known to the astrologer. He says, "You just come with me. I will show you the place and you just dig the ground and take it." Will any of us say no? So he's going to reveal the truth. Read again the astrology.
The astrologer asked, "Why are you unhappy? Your father was very wealthy, but he did not disclose his wealth to you because he died elsewhere."
That means he wanted to disclose, but he couldn't. So now I will tell you where the wealth is. सर्वज्ञेर वाक्य करे धनेर उद्देशे
सर्वज्ञेर वाक्य करे धनेर उद्देशे
ऐचे वेद पुराण जीवे कृष्ण उपदेशे
ऐचे वेद पुराण जीवे कृष्ण उपदेशे. Just as the words of the astrologer gave news of the poor man's treasure, the Vedic literatures advise one about Krishna consciousness when one is inquisitive to know why he is in a distressed material condition.
So it's equating. The story is equated to another man who is suffering in this material world, a jiva. He's asking, why am I suffering? So for him also the Vedas and Puranas give him a good luck news. News about a good luck or treasure that's available for him. What is it? सर्वज्ञेर वाक्ये मूल धन अनुबंध
सर्वज्ञेर वाक्ये मूल धन अनुबंध
सर्वशास्त्रे उपदेशे श्री कृष्ण संबंध
सर्वशास्त्रे उपदेशे श्री कृष्ण संबंध. By the words of the astrologer, the poor man's connection with the treasure was established. Similarly, the Vedic literature advises us that our real connection is with Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
So, a poor man's connection is with the treasure which is hidden from him. For example, here is a wall. Say behind the wall if there is some treasure. Do I have access now? No. But astrologer says, I will tell you a way to reach the treasure. Don't worry that this wall is putting a block. You can reach. Like that he is giving you a kind of assurance. In the same manner, there is Krishna which is our treasure and I am the jiva, and in between there are some stumbling blocks. So, but the stumbling blocks can be overcome and the treasure can be reached. So, what is the treasure equated to? Krishna, yeah. And who is the poor man equated to? Suffering jiva, not just jiva. Yeah. And what is the way by which the poor suffering jiva can get access to Krishna? Yes, Vedic literature. They will give advice on how to re-establish the connection. Similarly, in the story, serving a story, the secret with which the man can reach his treasure is the astrologer is giving him a piece of advice, which is like the Vedic literature, correct? No? That's analogy. So he's saying, Vedaham samatitani vartamani sajana bhavishani bhutani mamtu is a question. Krishna is all-knowing. He knows the past, present and future. Yeah, thus Krishna knows the cause of the distribution of the jiva. Therefore, he descends in this world in his original position and informs him, the jiva, about his forgetfulness of his relationship with Krishna. In fact, Krishna exhibited the relationships in Vrindavana and Kurukshetra with Arjuna, so that people can watch this. Like you can see how Krishna is relating with Yashoda, how Krishna is relating with Nanda, with covered boys, with cows, with peacocks, with gopis. And you can also see Krishna relating with Arjuna as Parthasarathi. But if it's proper saying, why is he doing that? So that people will be attracted to him and will return back home, back to Godhead. Prabhupada saying. And then Krishna also says in the Bhagavad Gita that he is the proprietor of all the universes. What is the verse? Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. Enjoyer of everything. Bhoktaram Yajnatapasam. And is the friend of everyone. Surdam Sarvabhutanam. Prabhupada is quoting that. Read this.
If we revive our original intimate relationship with Krishna, our distressed condition in the material world will be mitigated. Everyone is trying to adjust to the distressed conditions of material existence, but the basic problems cannot be solved unless one is in an intimate relationship with Krishna.
So here comes a very important point. Sometimes we read the Krishna book or the Srimad Bhagavatam, just like hearing some kind of phantom stories or, some novels as people read. And that such reading is very superficial. When one reads the sacred spiritual literature, the scriptures are like a love letter of Krishna to the jivas. So he is actually giving them access to understand his heart. So therefore he is saying that idam tute guhyatamam pravakshyami anasuyave. He is saying that you are non-envious of me, Arjuna. So another place he says rahasyam hyetaduttamam. Rahasyam means what? Secret. So the secret is not, rahasya is not everything you go and tell everybody. Like that secretly you speak, rahasya. So that only you told, those who are very intimate with you, you may talk. So he is telling, my devotees are very intimate to me, so I am telling. So therefore one should know that the relationship between Lord and the living being actually is revealed in the Vedic literature by the pastimes of the Lord. Actually by seeing that one should, like when you hear about Krishna Sudama, one should develop a great fondness. Oh, when will the time come when I can meet my Lord like the way Sudama met Krishna? I can see him eye to eye, I can serve him. So that kind of love for the Lord is awakened by reading these literatures. That's what he said. Read again. This one. Read again. Very important. Prabhupada saying here.
If we revive our original intimate relationship with Krishna, our distressed condition in the material world will be mitigated. Everyone is trying to adjust to the distressed conditions of material existence, but the basic problems cannot be solved unless one is in an intimate relationship with Krishna.
Actually, intimate relationship with Krishna is the topmost position. Because if you have an intimate relationship with Krishna, then the miseries of the material existence don't even exist for you. Vishwam Purna Sukhayate, he says. Why? Because you become oblivious to the sufferings. You just cannot even think about it. Say, for example, doctor gives an injection sometimes. At the same time, he gives you some chocolate to eat. You're eating the chocolates, he gives an injection. It looks like a small ant bite for you. But he has given a big injection or he has done a blood test, taken out blood. But you don't even feel the pinch because your mind was paying attention to eating chocolates like that. Similarly, when you are tasting Krishna consciousness, the pinches and the pangs of the material world like birth, old age, disease, death, and Sukha, Dukkha, Mana, Paman, Shita, Ushna, they become superficial to you. Tadvirya Gayana Mahamrita Magna Chitta, he's saying. There's one verse he says, Naiyoduje Paraduratyaya Vaitaranyas. He's saying, I am not suffering in the world. Why? Because I am with you, my Lord, he's saying. I have no fear at all. So that is the meaning of that. But one step lower if you go, instead of intimate relationship with Krishna, if you have a weak relationship with Krishna, that means there will be some sufferings in the material world also, along with little Krishna consciousness. And those are the devotees who ask questions. Why should Krishna give suffering to devotees? They ask questions. Correct? No? Because they have not yet tasted the bliss of intimate relationship with Krishna. Those who taste their intimate relationship, they never mind any type of suffering. For example, Parikshit was cursed to die in 7 days. He didn't mind. And Chitraketu was cursed to become a Vritrasura and die at the hands of Indra. And he didn't ask why. Isn't it? In this way, you will find many devotees faced many adversities. They never complained to Krishna. Prahlad Maharaj had to face a series of, assassination attempts by his father. There was no complaint because they're all in an intimate relationship with Krishna. There, people don't even perceive the sufferings. They see all sufferings as orchestrations of Krishna for intensifying their love for him and service to him. So one step shorter than that is the stage of a neophyte devotee, where a devotee asks questions that why it's, does bad things happen to good people? They have such kind of topics because of that. And those who are not even into devotion service, they are on the ground level and material platform. For them, even small problems would be like huge problems. Like on the ground level, the buildings appear very tall. When you go in a plane, they appear like matchbox. So there are some devotees who take small. Like somebody says, "Oh Prabhu, my relatives are taken to hospital, admitted in the hospital, and thank you, you prayed for them, they have come out and now they're all right." Okay. But some people have lost their relative, that's even more painful. Correct, no? So sometimes people are so much absorbed in sorting out the problems of the world. Like somebody says, "Rashampu, you blessed my son, now he got a seat abroad. Rashampu, you blessed my son, he got into medical or something." Okay, but that is not a great blessing. The great blessing is Krishna's mercy when your son becomes a devotee. That is a greater blessing than just acquiring something material. So one should not be fascinated by material successes in this world, which will come and go. Rather, one should aspire for the imperishable success, which is advancement in devotional service. So therefore, this is a point. The word intimate relationship with Krishna is very important in this. One should establish that. बापेर धन आछे ज्ञाने धन नहीं पाया.
बापेर धन अच्छे ज्ञाने धन नहीं पाया.
तबे सर्वज्ञ कहे तारे प्राप्ति रघु पाया.
तबे सर्वज्ञ कहे तारे प्राप्ति रघु पाया. Although being assured of his father's treasure, the poor man cannot acquire this treasure by such knowledge alone. Therefore, the astrologer had to inform him of the means whereby he could actually find the treasure.
Yeah. First of all, the astrologer assured him of the father's treasure. Similarly, the Vedas assure us that, Uttishtata Jagrataya Prapya Varan Nibodhata. There is a great boon available for you, dear Jivas. They give a clarion call. Come, you can get the treasure. So, although the man is assured, the poor man cannot acquire the treasure by that knowledge alone. He has to find out a means to attain it. Correct, no? Imagine if somebody tells you, "Hey, you are wandering in the street, your father was a crorepati. He has saved, 100 crores for you." So that knowledge, is it enough? No. But how to materialize getting that wealth? Therefore, the astrologer had to inform him the means, which is Abhideya. Yai sthane ache dana yadi dakshine kudive.
हे स्थाने आछे धन यदि दक्षिणे खुदिबे.
Bhimarulu baruli utibe dhana na paibe.
भीमरुल बरुली उठिबे धन न पाइबे. The astrologer said, "The treasure is in this place, but if you dig toward the southern side, the wasps and drones will rise, and you will not get your treasure."
Correct. So in which side the wasps and drones will rise? Southern side, he's saying. So don't dig. It's a wrong place to dig. Like, you want honey, you go to a forest and then see a honey comb hanging. You put your hand to pick up the honeycomb to snatch it from the tree and take it with you. Is it a good idea to do that? All the honeybees will sting you. But if the honeybees see you carrying a fire torch in the hand, torch means a fire mashal, burning fire. They are afraid of that. As soon as you go with it, they will never come near you. If they see that, they will all leave the place. Then you can take the chat. So there is a method of doing anything in life. What to do, how to do, one should know it. So he's saying here, if you want to get the treasure box where there's a big wealth awaiting you, don't dig in which direction? If you dig in southern direction, what you will get? Wasps and drones. Paschime kudibe taha yakshaya kahaya.
पश्चिमे खुदिबे ताहा यक्ष एक हया
से विघ्न करिबे धने हाथ ना पड़या
से विघ्न करिबे धने हाथ न पड़य. If you dig on the western side, there is a ghost who will create such a disturbance that your hands will not even touch the treasure.
Either is saying. So in which direction? Western side, yeah. उत्तरे कुदिले आछे कृष्ण अजगरे
उत्तरे खुदिले आछे कृष्ण अजगरे
धन नाही पावे खुदिते गिलिबे सबारे
धन नाही पावे खुदिते गिळिबे सबारे. If you dig on the northern side, there is a big black snake that will devour you if you attempt to dig up the treasure.
No. So on the southern side there were wasps and drones. In the western side there was a yaksha. Northern side there is a cobra, big black snake. So you should not dig there also. पूर्वदिके ताते माटी अल्प खुदिते
पूर्व दिके ताते माटी अल्प खुदिते
धनेर झारी पड़ी बेक तुम्हारे हाथे ते
धनेर झारी पडिबेक तुमार हातेते. However, if you dig up a small quantity of dirt on the eastern side, your hands will immediately touch the spot of treasure.
That is in which side? Eastern side, the best side is saying. Yeah, read it.
The Vedic literatures, including the Puranas, state that according to the position of the conditioned soul, there are different processes: Karma Kanda, Jnana Kanda, the yogic process, and the Bhakti Yoga process. Karma Kanda is compared to wasps and drones.
That is in South India. Correct, no? South India is filled with the recitation of the Vedic chant. Everywhere, any nook and corner you turn around. Even today, in Chennai, you go, there are so many mathas where you'll hear the Vedic chant continuously going on. You know, they will chant this Taittiriya Upanishad and 4 Vedas also they chant. So they are Karma Kanda Yajnas. They are compared to wasps and drones. Yeah.
Karma Kanda is compared to wasps and drones that will simply bite if one takes shelter of them. Jnana Kanda, the speculative process, is simply like a ghost who creates mental disturbances. Yoga, the mystic process, is compared to a big black snake that devours people by the impersonal cultivation of Kaivalya. However,
so Jnana Kanda is compared to ghost. See here, which creates mental disturbance. See, when a ghost enters into somebody's body, does it allow the person to behave normally? He becomes foolish. A ghost 100% speaks like a crazy man. So many things. Blah, 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 like that. Similarly, Jnanakanda person behaves like a ghost haunted man. He says, I am God. That's a ghost only, no? Isn't it imagination? Or he behaves as if he's controlling the whole creation or something. Claims to be God, or he says everybody is God. It's crazy. Like a ghost haunted fellow who speaks crazy things. And yoga was compared to a black snake. Why? Because it devours the people by impersonal cultivation of Kaivalya. Again, merging into the Supreme. Yeah. However, if one takes Bhakti Yoga, he becomes quickly successful. In other words, through Bhakti Yoga, one's hands touch the hidden treasure without difficulty. The goal of all the revealed scriptures and Vedic injunctions is Krishna, as he himself says in Bhagavad Gita, Vedesta Sharver Ahameva Vidyah. Since the Vedas enjoin one to search out Krishna and take shelter at his lotus feet, and since no Vedic process but devotional service will enable one to do this, one has to take to devotional service. According to the Bhagavad Gita 18.55, only the bhakti process is said to be definitive. Bhaktya mam abhijanati. This is the conclusive statement of the Vedas, and one has to accept this process if one is serious in searching for Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In this connection, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur gives the following statement. The eastern side represents devotional service to Lord Krishna. The southern side represents the process of fruitive activity, Karma Kanda, which ends in material gain. The western side represents Jnana Kanda, the process of mental speculation, or sometimes Siddhi Kanda, the mystic yoga system. The northern side
represents mystic yoga or sometimes the speculative method. It is only the eastern side, devotional service, that enables one to attain life's real goal. On the southern side, there are fruitive activities by which one is subject to the punishment of Yamaraja. When one follows the system of fruitive activity, his material desires remain prominent. Consequently, the results of this process are compared to wasps and drones. The living entity is bitten by the wasps and drones of fruitive activity and thus suffers in material existence, birth after birth. One cannot become free from material desires by following this process. The propensity for material enjoyment never ends. Therefore, the cycle of birth and death continues and the spirit soul suffers perpetually.
You understand, no? Like, the karmakanda is performed karmakanda. Sometimes they become Raja, sometimes they become Praja, sometimes they become Devata, sometimes they become animal. And it's unpredictable what result they will get. Like Durga was performing very pious karmakanda activities, but it ended up becoming a lizard. So nobody can say. So our own karmic reactions pinch us, and therefore they are called drones and wasps, like that. Yes.
The mystic yoga's process is compared to a black snake that devours the living entity and injects him with poison. The ultimate goal of the yoga system is to become one with the Absolute. This means finishing one's personal existence. But the spiritual part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead has an eternal individual existence. The Bhagavad Gita confirms that the individual soul existed in the past, is existing in the present, and will continue to exist as an individual in the future. Artificially trying to become one with the Absolute is suicidal.
Therefore the ghost. Correct.
One cannot annihilate his natural condition.
And now you understand. Actually, the material suicide, there is spiritual suicide. Material suicide is, trying to quit the body, material body, prematurely before you are ordained to leave the body. Because out of frustration or hatred or something. So such a suicide will make one into a ghost. Similarly, people who try to merge into God and become one with God, that is like a ghostly activity. Same.
A yaksha, a protector of riches, will not allow anyone to take away riches for enjoyment. Such a demon will simply create disturbances. In other words, a devotee will not depend on his material resources but on the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead who can give real protection. Yes. This is called Rakshaishyati
Vishwasaha.
Or in the Bengali poetry of Bhaktivinoda Thakur's Sharanagati,
Avashya Rakshive Krishna Vishwasa Palana.
The surrendered soul must accept the fact that his real protector is Krishna, not his material acquisitions. Considering all these points, devotional service to Krishna is the real treasure house for the living entity. When one comes to the platform of devotional service, he always remains opulent in the association of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One who is bereft of devotional service is swallowed by the black snake of the yoga system and bitten by the wasps and drones of fruitive activity, and he suffers consequent material miseries. Sometimes the living entity is misled into trying to merge into spiritual existence, thinking himself as good as the Supreme Personality
of Godhead. See, here is another point made about the black snake. One who is, this point here it says, if you see. See, Prabhupada says here that if you are not doing bhakti yoga, then you are swallowed by the black snake of yoga system, or bitten by the wasp and drones of the fruitive activity. That's karma bandhana. And sometimes we are misled to thinking of merging into spiritual existence and become a ghost by spiritual suicide. So these three are the ones mentioned in the southern, western and northern regions. This means
that when he comes to the spiritual platform, he will be disturbed and will again return to the material platform.
That is because of wrong goal. Prabhupada quoting that, Ye anya ravindaksha muktamanana yasta bhavada vishuddha buddhaya aruvya kritsrena param padam tataha patanti yedo vanadata yushmadangraha.
Such people may be sannyasis, may become sannyasis, but unless they take shelter of Krishna's lotus feet, they will return to the material platform to perform philanthropic activities. In this way, one's spiritual life is lost. This is to be understood as being devoured by the black snake.
So we understood why the wasps and drones are mentioned in South, because the karma bandhana bites us and pinches us like Nriga. And we understood the ghost in the western direction because, committing material suicide, makes one a ghost. Spiritual suicide makes also a ghost, which means one loses the opportunity to become servant of the Lord. But why the northern direction was called as a black snake? The yogis thing, which swallows a person. Any reason Prabhupada gave? Here he says, no? Yeah. One is swallowed by the black snake of yoga system. Read this one again.
Considering all these points, devotional service to Krishna is the real treasure house for the living entity. When one comes to the platform of devotional service, he always remains opulent in the association of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One who is bereft of devotional service is swallowed by the black snake of yoga system.
Like that he says. That means when you come to the platform of devotional service, you always remain opulent in Lord's association. When one is bereft of devotional service, which means the black snake of Kala Sarpa devours all jivas, even the Hatha yogis and all, they control their senses to some degree. But ultimately they fall down. Akshina Vasanam Rajan Drishyate Punaruttitam, it is said. Then again they become devoured by the serpent of Kala. Correct, no? That means they could not attain perfection in yoga system. They become a yoga brashta. Such people. They are swallowed by the time, over a period of time. Yeah. ऐचे शास्त्र कहे कर्म ज्ञान योग त्यजी.
ऐचे शास्त्र कहे कर्म ज्ञान योग त्यजी.
भक्तिये कृष्ण वश हय भक्तिये तारे भजी.
भक्तिये कृष्ण वश हय भक्तिये तारे भजी. The revealed scriptures conclude that one should give up fruitive activity, speculative knowledge, and this mystic yoga system, and instead take to devotional service, by which Krishna can be fully satisfied.
न साधयति मां योगो
न साधयति मां
न
योगो
सांख्यं धर्म उद्धव
न सांख्यं धर्म उद्धव
न स्वाध्यायस्तपस्त्यागो
न स्वाध्यायस्तपस्त्यागो
यदा भक्तिर्ममोर्जिता.
यथा bhaktirmamorjita. The Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna said, "My dear Uddhava, neither through Astanga Yoga, the mystic yoga system to control the senses, nor through impersonal monism or an analytical study of the absolute truth, nor through study of the Vedas, nor through austerities, charity, or acceptance of sannyas can one satisfy me as much as by developing unalloyed devotional service unto me."
Yeah.
This and the following verse are quoted from Srimad Bhagavatam.
11.14. Uddhav Gita it comes. Yeah. So this is a repeating theme. You will find that, one cannot understand me through any other approach other than devotional service. The Lord is warning. Why Prabhupada is quoting, why Kaviraj Goswami is quoting here in this story? Because he has already told about South India filled with Karma Kanda, West India filled with Jnana Yoga, and North India filled with Yoga system. So these things are not the methods to attain the Supreme Lord. That's the meaning. The real method is Bhakti Yoga. Yeah. Bhaktyaham ekaya grahyah.
Bhaktyaham ekaya grahyah.
Shraddhayatma priyah satam.
Shraddhayatma priyah satam.
Bhakti punati mannishta.
Bhakti punati mannishta.
Svapakanapi sambhavat.
Svapakanapi sambhavat.
Yes.
Being very dear to the devotees and sadhus, I am attained through unflinching faith and devotional service.
Same point is emphasized here now. The devotees are very dear to me, sadhus are very dear to me. Simply by Bhakti Yoga and Shraddha, you will come back to me. Yeah.
This Bhakti Yoga system, which gradually increases attachment for me, purifies even a human being born among dog eaters. That is to say, everyone can be elevated to the spiritual platform by the process of Bhakti Yoga.
Yeah, there is one verse that comes to my mind. Who all got purified by Bhakti Yoga? I'll just show you that. In Uddhava Gita it comes. Satsangena hidayteya
Satsangena hi daitya
yatudhana mrigha kagaha
yatudhana mrigah
gandharvapsaraso nagaha
gandharvapsarso nagaha
siddhacharana guhyakaha.
siddhascharana guhyakaha.
Vidyadhara manusyeshu
Vidyadhara manusyeshu
vaishya shudra striyontyajah
vaishyaha shudraha striyontyajah
rajastama prakritayas
rajastamah prakrutayas
tasmin yuge yuge
tasmin yuge yuge
bhagavo matpadam praptas
bahavo matpadam praptas
tvashtrkayadhavadayah
त्वाष्ट्रकायाधवादयः
vrishaparva balirbano
वृषपर्वा बलिर्बाणो
mayaschatha vibhishanah
मयश्चाथ विभीषणः
sugrivo hanuman raksho
सुग्रीवो हनुमान् ऋक्षो
gajo gridro vanikpatah
गजो गृधो वणिक्पतः
yadak kubjavraje gopyo
व्याधः कुब्जा व्रजे गोप्यो
yajnapatnyas tatha pare.
यज्ञपत्न्यस्तथा परे. In every yuga, many living entities entangled in the modes.
I'll take my little small one. It doesn't contact with me.
In every yuga, many living entities entangled in the modes of passion and ignorance gained the association of my devotees. Thus, such living entities as the Daityas, Rakshasas, birds, beasts, Gandharvas, Apsaras, Nagas, Siddhas, Charanas, Guhyakas and Vidyadharas, as well as...
Very important verse it is. This is 11.12.3. What names Krishna is giving? See, Krishna is speaking to Uddhava. He is saying all this class of living entities have become devotees. If you see Daityas, you can say Prahalad. Rakshasas, you can say Vibhishan. Say birds, you can say Jatayu. Beasts, you can say like Vanaras, like our Hanuman, isn't it? And Gandharvas, you can say, which Gandharva became Krishna's devotee? Nadamuni is actually a Devarishi, Narada. Yeah, Narada was earlier a Gandharva, he became devotee. Who also became devotee. And then Apsaras. Any Apsaras became Krishna's devotees? Yes. We may not know exactly the names, but there are evidences in Shastra for that. Similarly, some Nagas. We have Anantashesh, Kaliya, all of them became devotees. Anantashesh is already a devotee. Similarly, Siddha Purushas, Charanas. So in each category you will find devotees. That means devotion service is applicable to one and all. That's the point. Go ahead.
As well as such lower class human beings as the Vaishyas, Shudras, women and others were able to achieve my supreme
Nanda
abode.
Baba and all other covered men in Vrindavan, they were in which category? Vaishya category, yeah. And there are also Shudras, for example, our Kanakadas, people like that. Even lesser than Shudras also like Haridas Thakur or Nishadas like Guha. So they all have become devotees, yeah. And women like Kunti, Draupadi, Subhadra, so many others are devotees of the Lord. Yeah. Uttara, yeah, many names. Gopis are also women. Gopis, yeah.
Vitrasura, Prahlad Maharaj and others like them also achieved my abode by association with my devotees, as did personalities such as Vrishaparva, Bali Maharaj, Banasura, Maya, Vibhishana, Sugriva, Hanuman, Jambavan, Gajendra, Chatayu, Tuladhara, Dharma Vyadha, Kubja, the gopis in Vrindavan and the wives of Brahmanas who were performing sacrifice.
Yeah.
The Lord has mentioned devotees such as the gopis in Vrindavan and also demons like Banasura to illustrate how he comes under the control of those who surrender to him. It is understood that devotees like the gopis and others mentioned here obtained pure love of Krishna whereas the demons generally obtained only salvation. Many demons were purified by association with devotees and came to accept devotional service to the Lord as the most important among the various activities in their lives. But the exalted devotees like Prahlada and Bali Maharaj know nothing except devotional service, which they accept as their very life. Still, the reformed demons are also mentioned so that readers of Srimad Bhagavatam will understand the enormous benefits one may achieve by associating with devotees of the Lord.
See, here it is said, Prahlad and Bali are not ordinary demons. They are pure devotees. And they don't know anything other than devotion service. That's a pran for them. But there are also other demons like Mayadanava who surrendered to Arjuna and Krishna. And they are saved also. So in this way, they are put under category of reformed demons. Some are reformed demons, but the other so-called demons are pure devotees. Yeah.
The demon Vitrasura was the pious king Chitraketu in his previous life, during which he associated with Sri Narada Muni, Sri Angira Muni, and Lord Sankarsana. Prahlad Maharaj, being the son of Hiranyakashipu, is considered a Daitya or demon. Yet, while still in the womb of his mother, Kayadhu, he associated with Narada Muni by sound vibration. The demon Vrishaparva was abandoned by his mother at birth, but he was raised by a Muni and became a devotee of Lord Vishnu. Bali Maharaj associated with his grandfather Prahlada and also with Lord Vamandeva. Bali Maharaj's son Banasura was saved by association with his father and Lord Shiva. He also associated with Lord Krishna personally when the Lord cut off all but 2 of his 1000 arms, which had been awarded as a benediction by Lord Shiva. Understanding the glories of Lord Krishna, Banasura also became a great devotee. The demon Maya Danava constructed an assembly house for the Pandavas and also associated with Lord Krishna himself, eventually achieving the shelter of the Lord. Vibhishana was a pious natured demon, the brother of Ravana, and he associated with Hanuman and Ramachandra. Sugriva, Hanuman, Jambavan and Gajendra are examples of animals who achieved the mercy of the Lord. Jambavan or
Riksharaj.
So
in the shloka, the word riksha is used. Yeah.
Was a member of a race of bears. He personally associated with Lord Krishna, fighting with him over the
You remember that?
Syamantaka.
During Syamantaka, Krishna went to his cave. And then he couldn't recognize Krishna. He was a devotee of Rama before. Now he didn't know who Krishna is. So he had a good fight, 28 days with Krishna. And Krishna beat him so hard that all his nerves and bones became completely weak. And severely felt pain. And Krishna massaged his body and then completely relieved all the pain. Again he got strong. But then he got one realization. He told, nobody else can match with my Lord Rama's strength. Since you are matching it, you must be non-different from Lord Ram. He realized the truth about him. So in this way, Riksha became Lord's devotee, our Jambavan.
The elephant Gajendra in a previous life had association with devotees, and at the end of his life as Gajendra, he was personally saved by the Lord. Jatayu, the bird who at the cost of his own life assisted Lord Ramachandra, associated with Sri Garuda and Maharaj Dashrath as well as other devotees in Ram Leela. He also personally met with Sita and Lord Rama. According to Srila Jiva Goswami, the association that the Gandharvas, Apsaras, Nagas, Siddhas, Charanas, Guhyakas and Vidyadharas had with the devotees is not very prominent and does not need to be mentioned. Vanikpatha is a Vaishya and his story is mentioned in the Mahabharata in connection with the pride of Jajali Muni. The importance of association with devotees is illustrated in the story of Dharmavyadha, the non-violent hunter as described in the Varaha Purana. In a previous life, he somehow became a Brahma Rakshasa or Brahmana ghost, but was eventually saved. In a previous Kali Yuga, he had the association of a Vaishnava king named Vasu. The lady Kubja associated directly with Lord Krishna, and in her previous birth she had associated with Sri Narad Muni. The gopis of Vrindavan rendered service to saintly persons in their previous births. Having had ample association with devotees, they became gopis in Vrindavan in their next lives and associated with the eternally liberated gopis who had descended there. They also had association with Tulsi Devi or Vrinda Devi. The wives of the Brahmanas performing sacrifice had association with women sent by Lord Krishna to sell flower garlands and betel nuts and heard about the Lord from them.
The Yajnik Brahmanas' wives, they would get to hear the flower garland sellers and betel nut sellers. But these betel nut sellers, flower garland sellers are from Vrindavan, and they would be street hawkers. But while hawking in the street, calling out for selling betel nuts and flower garland, they will naturally sing Krishna's names also. So, like I heard a story, like one gopi who was having abundant butter to sell. Sell means barter system in those days, isn't it? She was saying, Makan lo, Madhav lo, like that she was selling. Then when Madhav heard it, immediately he came running and put his hand in her basket and took this much palm full of butter and ran away. She shouted, "Hey Madhav, how can you take and run away? You have to give something in return." So Krishna said, "You only told just now, Makan lo, Madhav lo. Madhav has come now. I have taken now." So she said, "Oh really? I forgot." For her, calling Madhav's name was so spontaneous. So in Vrindavan, the street hawkers would call Krishna's names and sing Krishna's pastimes. And by their association, Yajnik Brahmana's wives became devotees. Yeah. It's a very beautiful verse. This is also a very important verse. Tenadhita shrutigana
Tenadhita shrutigana
nopasita mahattamaha
nopasita mahatamaha
avrata tapta tapasaha
avrata tapta tapasaha
matsangan mam upagataha
matsangan mam upagataha. The persons I have mentioned did not undergo serious studies of the Vedic literature, nor did they worship great saintly persons, nor did they execute severe vows or austerities. Simply by association with me and my devotees, they achieved me.
See? Either association with the Lord or the devotees. Read it.
Study of the Vedic literature, worship of those who teach the Shruti mantras, acceptance of vows and austerities, etc., as mentioned previously, are helpful processes that please the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In this verse, however, the Lord again explains that all such processes are secondary to the essential process of associating with the Supreme Personality of Godhead and His pure devotees. By other processes, one may gain the association of the Lord and His devotees, which will actually give the perfection of life. The word Matsangat can also be read as Satsangat, with the same meaning. In the reading Matsangat from association with me, Mat is also understood to indicate those who are mine, or the devotees. Srila Sridhar Swami mentions that a pure devotee can advance in Krishna consciousness by his own association, since simply by associating with his own activities and consciousness, he associates with the Lord.
His consciousness is so sublime and pure. His consciousness is flooded with Krishna remembrance. So thinking of Krishna again and again, he can associate with himself. Once a person has become Mahatma, like Jadabharata, for example. So, Kevalena hi bhavena Gopyo gavo nagamrigaha
Gopyo gavo nagamrigaha
Mudadhiyo nagaha
Yenye mudadhiyo nagaha
Siddha mami yuranjasa
Siddha mami yuranjasa. The inhabitants of Vrindavan, including the gopis, cows, unmoving creatures such as the twin Arjuna trees, animals, living entities with stunted consciousness such as bushes and thickets, and snakes such as Kalia, all achieved the perfection of life by unalloyed love for me and thus very easily achieved me. Although innumerable living entities achieved liberation by association with the Lord and His devotees, many such personalities also executed other processes such as austerity, charity, philosophical speculation, and so on. As we have already explained,
they are all secondary, all these procedures.
But the inhabitants of Vrindavan, such as the gopis, did not know anything except Lord Krishna, and their whole purpose in life was simply to love Lord Krishna, as indicated here by the words Kevalena hi bhavena. Even the trees, bushes and hills such as Govardhan loved Lord Krishna. as the Lord explains to his brother Sri Baladeva in the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam.
Aho ami devavaramarachitam
Aho ami devavaramarachitam
padambujam te sumanah palarhanam
padambujam te sumanah phalarhanam
namantyupadaya shikha viratmanah
namantyupadaya sikhabhiratmanas
namopahatye tarujanma yatkritam.
tamo apahatyai taru janma yatkritam. My dear brother Baladeva, just see how these trees are bowing down with their branches and offering obeisances to your lotus feet, which are worshipable even by the demigods. Indeed, my dear brother, you are the supreme God, and thus these trees have produced fruits and flowers as an offering to you.
Yeah,
Although
actually Krishna says like this, but actually just like sometimes guests come to your house, you say, they ask you, can I sit here? You say, why you sit here? The whole house is yours. You can sit wherever you want. Can I take one more sweet? Why one more sweet? The whole kitchen is for you. You say, no, like that Krishna is telling, oh my brother, the whole forest is offering everything to you. Like the Krishna is saying. The point is, kevala hi bhavena. Even the trees and plants are showing bhava. Yeah.
although many living entities achieve the mercy of Lord Krishna by associating with the Lord and his devotees in various ways, those who take Lord Krishna as everything are situated in the highest process of spiritual realization. Therefore, the Lord has not bothered to mention in this verse those who achieved perfection through mixed processes, but rather glorifies the unalloyed devotees of Vrindavan headed by the gopis who knew nothing but Lord Krishna. The residents of Vrindavan were so satisfied in their relationships with Lord Krishna that they did not pollute their loving service with mental speculation or fruitive desires. The gopis served Lord Krishna
This is
in
very
the conjugal
important.
rasa.
There are two types of devotees of Krishna. One is Jnana Mishra, Karma Mishra, Yoga Mishra Bhaktas. Krishna is not very much interested in that Mishra devotees. But then there are Shuddha Bhaktas like gopis. Therefore, the gopis are highlighted here, yeah.
The gopis served Lord Krishna in the conjugal rasa or relationship, whereas according to Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, the cows loved Lord Krishna in Vatsalya rasa or the love of parents for a child, because the cows were always supplying milk to child Krishna. Unmoving objects like Govardhan Hill and other hills and mountains loved Lord Krishna as a friend, and the ordinary animals, trees and bushes of Vrindavan loved Lord Krishna in Dasya rasa or with love of a servant for his master. Snakes like Kalia also developed his love in servitude, and after relishing their loving service to Lord Krishna, all of them went back home, back to Godhead.
Yeah. So let me ask you a question. The Govardhan was having what relationship with the Lord? Friendship. And cows? And other animals? Yeah. And persons like Kalia and others? Dasya. Like that is explained. So this is a new information given to us. How each of them treated the Lord in that way. Yeah.
According to Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, all those inhabitants of Vrindavan should be considered eternally liberated souls as expressed by the words Siddhaha, which means having achieved the perfection of life.
So these are all very, very important verses. Same point Lord will say, Yamna, Yogena, Sankhena, all these things will not help. So other processes are not so powerful, Lord will say in the subsequently. So this is what we read just now. Please read this again.
Being very dear to the devotees and sadhus, I am attained through unflinching faith and devotional service.
And this is what I showed you now from the 11th canto. Many, many verses I showed you. Lord Krishna telling about Gandharvas, Siddhas, Charanas and demons. What a variety. Amazing, huh? Like we say, from like Narada Muni had disciples ranging from Vyasadeva to Mrigari. Vyasadeva was the most finest of the writers of the Vedic literature. And Mrigari was the worst of the sinners. And everybody else in between also. So that's a path of Bhakti Yoga. Is amazing it is. Yes.
This Bhakti Yoga system, which gradually increases attachment for me, purifies even a human being born among dog eaters. That is to say, everyone can be elevated to the spiritual platform by the process of Bhakti Yoga.
Yes. One verse we will do and conclude this section. 139. Ateva Bhakti Krishna Praptyera Upaya
Ataiva Bhakti Krishna Praptyera Upaya
Abhideya Balitare Sarva Shastri Gaya
Abhideya Balitare Sarva Shastri Gaya. The conclusion is that devotional service is the only means for approaching the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This system is therefore called Abhideya. This is the verdict of all revealed scriptures.
So today we mainly did two things today. One is Sarvagnya story we studied. South India we get, there's a treasure which is hidden, which is Krishna. But the treasure is underground. You can't get it. So the Jyotishi or astrologer is giving us a clue how to get the treasure. And that's the Vedic literature is compared to astrologer. And then the Vedic literature telling us, don't go to South India because that's Karma Kanda, which gives you Karma Bandhana, which will bite like wasps and drones. Don't go to Western India because there you get jnanis who are talking about merging in Brahman or spiritual suicide. So that's like a ghost attacked people, ghost hunted people. Don't go to North India, he's saying. Why? There is a black serpent, the yoga methods, especially Haridwar, Rishikesh, and all, if you see, and also Himalayas. It's all about yogis. So that is like a cobra, black serpent devouring everybody. So then he says, go to the eastern side. Very easily your hands will reach the treasure box if you practice the. Because in the east, Rajaitya Mahaprabhu is there. He will teach us Shuddha Bhakti. So adapt the process of Shuddha Bhakti. That's one story we read today. And second thing we read about was from 11th canto, Lord Krishna talking about the varieties of devotees. How by Bhakti Yoga or by contact with Krishna devotees they attain perfection. Unlike the other paths, which are very, very difficult and they don't reach you to the ultimate goal. Yeah, Bhakti only by Bhakti I can be known. All that I read was about this only. Yeah.
The aim of life is to get rid of the material conditioning and enter into spiritual existence. Although the Shastras prescribe different methods for different men, the Supreme Personality of Godhead says that one ultimately must accept the path of devotional service as the assured path of spiritual advancement.
If one can accept the spiritual, devotional path, can drop all other paths. Naking karo nayam ranicha rajan, he says. We don't have to do anything else. Sarvadharman parityaji, just follow this one thing.
Devotional service to the Lord is the only process actually confirmed by the Lord. Sarvadharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam vraja. One must become a devotee if one wants to return home back to Godhead and become eternally blissful.
Okay. Then 140 onwards, Prayojana will come. We shall do it in the next class. Srila Prabhupada ki, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki.